here we go. Showtime. Right, just let me share this live because for some reason my phone is being an arsehole and I don't know why. Oh no, it's working now. Ooh. Right, get off, woman. Right. Hello. I'm just going to share this live. Hey, Jazz. Better late than never, I believe. Hello, everybody. Right, let me share this live. Hey, Mel. My photo, I can't share it to WhatsApp. WhatsApp's not on my tablet. Oh, it's all going pear-shaped. I'm going to swap over to my phone in a second because my phone's being an arsehole. And I've had to restart it. Hello, Mel.
You alright?
Oh, I'm Oliver Flap, love. Thanks for my heart, me.
Did you sort the dugout out?
I've not heard anything back yet. I've given Kim everything that I had. Hi, not available. But right, I'm going to swap over to my phone because I want to use my tablet for the videos. But my phone's being a bit
Hi,
of a
Claire.
mess. Hi, Claire.
Oh, hello. Bloody hell, my eyes are stinging. Like, they're proper stinging. I need to put ice packs on them.
Hello. Oh dear.
From staring at him for 3 bloody hours.
Well,
I'm not joking. Honestly, my eyes, they really hurt. Anyway. At least I don't have to watch so much on your live.
No, you don't have to do much. Well, you do. You have to keep your eye on what's going on.
Oh, you'll be lucky. I don't even keep an eye. You know what I'm like. I'm delayed. Hello, everybody joining.
Yeah, I am here. Just has it swapped over? Are we on my phone? Are we on my phone?
Mole, can you unblock Morgan and Z, please?
Done it. I've already done it. I
She
just
can't...
dropped her a message. I've already done it.
Oh, right, love.
Right, hang on a minute now, because things have moved on here, and I don't like it. I am rude, but it's a behaviour live. Get out. Mute microphone. No. Get out. Be gone. You know you're not allowed. Go away. Love you.
We love you. We love you, loads.
Love you long time. Oh no, that sounded like that woman, Carter. That. Right. So just let me get the videos on my phone. Claire,
Hi, Claire, love.
Hello.
Oh my God, what's going on here?
I'm interested in what I'm going to be watching tonight.
Get ready.
I might just go and get my iPad, actually. It's a slightly bigger screen.
Yeah, that's why I'm using my tablet for the videos, because it's a massive screen. So, is the RSPCA doing anything? They are shit. They are shit. That's all I'm going to say. Popcorn ready. Hi, Kelly. Right, I'm going to find these videos now on my, because I have put them to one side so I know exactly where they are. He says confidently. Right. Don't know it. Did anybody see his live? Hi, Stephanie. Did anybody see his live on Saturday? The eye buggers. The eye buggers. I've got it. The one off the live on Saturday morning. Do you mean? I've got that. Shall we start with the eye buggers?
Yeah, please.
But you know what? I don't actually think I've seen
that
these myself because I don't actually tend to watch Kate's video.
Get out.
Listen,
I hadn't had a chance to catch up with ones on YouTube that I've missed, though. I hadn't.
You know when you need like a few days off? He's a lot. I'm going to mute.
Oh, right. Well, we've got a Wally coming already.
No, that's me. That's me. Can you say presser 1?
Oh, for crying out loud! The presser.
That's me. That's one of my little dodgy ones so that I can look at certain people's
Right,
accounts.
I've unblocked you now.
Yeah.
I
Right,
had
I've
a
unblocked
Wally
you now.
come in.
Change your name.
Who was? You probably can't remember, Jazz, but I had a right Wally that come in earlier. 27 gifting badge. That woman. Do you remember?
Yeah.
I can't remember her thing though, but I bet you haven't got her blocked because I hadn't. But anyway,
I don't know who it is. Hi, everyone joining. Right, yes, so the iBugger one that I'm going to show you now. This was from
I'm going to mute.
Saturday morning. Well, Saturday lunchtime it worked out to be. And have any of us made a dog scream when they've taken out an iBugger?
No.
No.
Never.
Right, well, this Wally does. Hang on. Can we keep an eye on Wally's coming in, please?
Yeah. On it.
Anyone that...
Oh, did you mod me, Kate?
Yeah, you should be modded anyway.
I'm on just checking
think.
to see if I'm keeping
Let's
an eye
have
on
a
the
look.
chat.
Right, just give me 1 second. Oh, no, you're not.
No, I didn't think you
You
had.
are now.
Thank you.
You are now. Are you... Yeah, well, I said I'd mod KK9 exposed as well, because the more we've got,
Yep, the
the
better.
better.
The safer. More eyes. More eyes.
Can
We
you
can't
get
miss
you
out.
into bigger screen? Is there a way of? Can you go even bigger? I think you can.
I'm going to use my
There is if she
tablet.
moves us to all down one side.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because at the minute,
I know we haven't got... Hi, Rocky. We haven't got our tech girl in till after 10 o'clock. So, you know, it is what it is. You've just got to put up with me, unfortunately.
I can even put my own.
You click on your box, Kate, and then it comes up with that thing at bottom, and it shows you a box that's got different squares on. You click on that, and you can change screen setting.
Oh, my God. That's just fell out my brain already. So that again...
Click on your box now on the screen.
Yeah, done it.
It's come up with a load of things at bottom. It's got one that looks like a window with different squares. Click on that, and then you change the format. Right,
Like that?
Yeah, but click it again until you've got a great big one of you and us just down edge.
Oh, okay. See, it's fell out my head again. Claire, would you like to introduce yourself, please, my dear? For those that weren't here last time.
Yeah, more than happy to. Put my teeth back in. Evening, everyone. For those of you who weren't here last time, I'm Claire. Claire, animal behaviourist. So I have got 30 years of experience of working with various different species of animal. Worked in a couple of different zoos. So I've worked with large zoo animals and small zoo animals. I've also worked in animal research as well as a veterinary background and domestic animal and farm animals as well. I've got a degree in zoological management, a degree in animal behaviour and welfare, and a postgraduate degree in animal behaviour and training. And I have taught animal behaviour and training for a couple of years as well. I'm all about education and science and explaining what is really, really going on. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
That's brilliant, thank you. Right, now, oh God, frigging tablet. Right, can we see that? Is that okay for everybody?
Yeah. Thank you, Melissa.
Who did that? Which clever person did that?
That might have been me for once.
Oh wow.
Go on, Mel. Hey!
Mel?
I don't know how to do it from from being a mod, so well done. You have to tell me later.
I blagged it.
Right, okay.
Right, Kate, if you back your
Well
phone
done.
up just a skerrick, that's better.
Is that all right? Is that all
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Hello.
Hello?
Are we ready?
Yeah.
Hiya. Are we ready?
Or is BH1, now it's BH2 next week. Yeah, madness, mate. They all are on there, mate. A lot of them. How's it? No, I need to see it. I need to get that off. Let me get off. Come on. Good boy.
Did you hear the yelp?
I think I might have heard
Did
something.
you guys hear the yelp?
I heard the yelp.
Yeah. Did you hear the yelp? I'll go back.
Yeah.
Whose dog's open?
How's it? No, I need
Did
to
you hear
see
it then?
Get that
Yeah.
off. Get off.
Yeah.
Come on.
So he was taking an eye booger off the dog's
You got
eye
clear for the heart, me.
and made it squeal.
I mean, you got toilet or not? You're not on first bigses.
Well, you
Good
tell
toilet.
me. Why has he got an e-collar on an 18-week-old puppy?
Colour stuff.
So
That's
crazy. Everything's crazy.
He's grabbing them
Change my
behind
name
the
to it.
camera.
10%, man.
Yeah. So that's the first one. It's not like out of this world, but it's the fact that he made a puppy scream as he was taking an eye booger out.
I wonder if that.
Yeah, but you know what his answer to that's going to be, don't you? Every time he touches it, it leaks drive.
Oh God.
Oh, is that where that came from? You think? Yeah. Okay.
Well, that's not where it came from.
No,
actually.
that's not where it came from.
I wonder if that's something to do with that every time a hand goes near that dog, he thinks he's going to get a wallop.
Well,
It could well be. It could well be.
I think
Well,
this
I mean,
might be
has
the
any
video
of those
where
happened?
the leaks drive comes from.
Well, let's watch it and have a look.
Chaos. I'll grab your penis. How about that? The cock squeeze. Oh, crick. Peas are you? You like that, do you? You like it, don't you? Yeah. Oh, is that what you like, little shit? Well, you just bit me, so I can bite you back, surely. Huh? Oh, yeah, you like that, don't you? I know. I swear these fucking herders love running right under the belly.
That is not how
So
he
is my-
described it. Oh my God.
So is my sound okay? Can you guys hear it, or do we need to take the tablet out?
Oh, no, it's fine. I've just not seen this. I've just heard his excuses. And that is not how he described it.
So did you hear him quite clearly say that he
Yeah.
would grab the dog's? Yeah, and then he said cock squeeze, and then his hand went underneath the dog and he grabbed the dog.
And the puppy did scream, and then the ears went back, and then he may have then, once he'd done that, reverted to tummy rubbing. But that puppy's ears were back, and then we also saw face licking as well. So we've got appeasing behaviours going on there.
So, I mean, I look at this guy, and he claims to have and it's been said by other people as well, that he's got a great relationship with these dogs.
The thing is, so
And I would
Stockholm syndrome does exist in the animal world as well. So if you've got an animal that you're keeping, essentially we're keeping them captive, aren't we? They're domesticated, but we keep them in our homes, and they have very little autonomy in what they do. And then how you treat them is what they come to expect. And with Stockholm syndrome, you can have another being captive, and you can treat them really, really badly. But then the little bit of affection that you do give them means that they kind of latch onto that, and they start to see you as a very important figure in their life, and they will literally do absolutely anything to appease you and keep you happy, because it's a kind of a weird kind of affection that grows, and that definitely happens in the animal world as well. It happens in humans. We see it. It's a very, very well studied phenomenon in humans, and we see it in the animal world as well. And you get these people who treat these animals really badly, but these dogs still seem to adore being with their people. It's because they don't know any different. It's pretty sad, really.
It is really, really, really sad. Hi, Madhouse. Where's Chloe?
And to the untrained
I
eye,
had
Coming
some
in
of the
a
live.
minute, she's just stuck on the phone guiding her sister, whose cat's just decided to give birth.
oh wow,
Oh, nice. So okay.
I was
All
on
right,
the phone to her and she
sorry,
leave
literally
the
Claire.
went,
cat to it. Cats
"That's
are pretty
weird.
good
My
at doing it
sister
on their
doesn't
own.
ring me at this time of night."
Cats are pretty good at doing it on their own.
Sorry, what were you going to say then, Claire?
Right. So yeah, it's pretty sad, really. But to people who don't realise what's going on, they would just assume that is a really good relationship with the dogs. They don't realise that those dogs are being treated in a bad way, and that they'll latch on to absolutely any little bit of affection that they might be able to get, and that actually in some cases going through patterns of behavior, known patterns of behavior, actually helps to relax them. And because they get when they do that, they get some form of affection from the person that is handling them. So they'll look to do those things because in those moments they get a relief of any stress or anxiety that they might be feeling, that they're going to be punished in some way just for doing stuff. And what you definitely see with all of his videos, actually, when he's got these dogs around, is that in any given moment, he could decide he's going to punish them.
Yeah.
And that's going to cause stress and anxiety. And that means that you've got this dog that is constantly in this stressed fight or flight mode all of the time. And they don't know if they're going to get punished in any given moment. So they'll be constantly trying to do things to appease him in some way.
Claire, can I just say there, just nice to meet you, first of all.
Nice to meet you too.
And just to get your opinion, really, obviously, when I took Carly for certain assessments and gained various advice, the penny drop moment for me was a conversation with a charity, actually. And I'm not going to put the name on here just because it's not fair to them, because we know what will happen. But their explanation of it was, they asked if I was aware of fight or flight moment and living on eggshells, or
Yeah.
they sort of connected it with likenesses for somebody that had been through domestic violence. And they said, can you understand that feeling, that, not knowing what's coming next? And I said, yeah, completely. And they said to me that that's literally what your dog's living in. That's the state of mind. If it was a broken back, you would look to PTS, and you've got to see it as that, because yes, the mind is broken and no, you can't see it. But the problem with the mind is it's pretty much irreparable at that point.
Wow.
And there's
Yeah.
no coming back from that for them. So it's kind of the kind of thing is to let them be at peace. And what you've
Yes.
just said there really resonated with that description that I'd had at that time.
Yeah, it's you get to a certain point with a dog when they've been badly treated, especially if the bad treatment is excessive in their formative stages, where we've got a lot of brain formation. So you've got all the brain connections are firing off, and you're making all of these behavioral connections. And in puppyhood, we've got that neuroplastic sponge where they're able to learn loads and loads of things. And then as they get older, that slows down, and we see brain myelination, which actually sort of refines a lot of the learning. But as we move into adolescence, if we don't keep repeating those nice lessons and that early learning through adolescence, then the brain will go into brain pruning, and it sort of gets rid of all of the good stuff that it did learn. So if we're getting sort of punishment and things like that happening, and we don't keep going through all of the stuff that they learned when they were younger, then that all will just disappear, and that will all go. And then we end up with this brain that is moving then into this fight or flight. So the amygdala is going to be firing off constantly. And because they never really know when they're going to get punished, what's going to happen, the amygdala is constantly firing off. So we've got high levels of cortisol all of the time. And that means that the dog can never settle. They don't sleep properly. They don't have a good digestive system, because it's all connected. and you end up with this fizzy mess of an animal that can't cope. And then even if you do try to rehabilitate them when they're in that state, you've got PTSD. And learning is not something that you can completely get rid of. It happens in layers. It's like an onion. And you've got all the early learning stuff in the middle, and you create layers on top of layers on top of layers. So something that they've already learned, even though you create new behaviors on top of that early learning behavior, or that first learning behavior, in the right context can always come back. So we get what we call behavior resurgence. So even if you were to work through things with a dog that is that far gone, you might to some degree be able to change those behaviors, but then the behavioral effects of the bad treatment will at some point probably come back if the context and the situation is right, and that makes the dog dangerous.
Thank you.
So you've the thing is, what I want you to take from this is that we live and learn.
Definitely.
And you don't know what you don't know in the moment, and you can be easily led astray by people because they talk that you've got people like him who speak confidently, and then you kind of fall into it and you kind of go, oh yeah, you must know what you're talking about because you're shouting and you're talking really, really loudly. Sadly, just because someone talks loudly and talks confidently about something doesn't mean that they actually know what they're talking about.
I think as well, one thing that had me fooled was all the good words that come from other people and the certificates that we see on a wall. But what we didn't realise at the time was they were from the local family faith. They weren't anything to say that you got anything of substance that made it relevant towards the level of training he'd done.
Yeah, to be honest with you, you can go onto Amazon and you can buy rosettes and trophies, and you can create certificates on Canva. So unless it's a proper certified certificate from somebody like the CPT Standards Agency or an academic qualification in some way, I would just not entirely trust it unless it's something like a proper competition, which is why a lot of people gravitate towards things like if we're talking like pedigree dogs, certainly like the gun dog world that I move in, you have the Kennel Club working tests and those sorts of things, because those are certified organizations who run those things. They have very strict guidelines on what they do. The certificate you're going to get from them is legit. So those are the sort of things you need to be looking for. Sadly, though, your average pet owner isn't going to know that, and they're not necessarily going to know what to look for.
No. And it's a shame we can't get a close up on the print of them.
That's what all of them play on.
Yeah, that's what he's playing on, and he's been jotting down his little notes on his notepad. We know he's done that. He's gathered information from other people, and he's passing it off as I understand.
He's asked us to do that for him.
Hi, Jane. Jane's in, Claire. Jane's
He actually had me to do that for him on one occasion, and that's how he learned about the 4 quadrants.
Sorry, not that I'm a cat breeder, but my sister's cat is giving birth, so I keep going on
Jane. I don't know what Kate's told you about me. Sorry. She put you. I don't know. Well, she probably thinks I'm a damn nut. It's all right. Hi, Jane.
You know what? Jane, hello, lovely. Get in the box and chat, woman. My God, I mean, you're a brain box as well.
Yeah, there's only me that's not. I'm just the gob of the outfit. That's all I am. Yeah, so what I did want to ask you, and I'm going to ask it now before I forget about it completely, and somebody else has asked in the comments as well, drive leaking, because when he's talking about what he was doing when he grabbed the puppy's doofer, I should say, what he says is, you can see he's drive leaking. Why is he? What is drive leaking, and why is he saying that that's what the puppy is doing?
So that drive leaking basically means that the dog is, it's like when we were talking about the Yerkes-Dodson law the other day. We're talking about that sweet spot in learning, where we're constantly pushing into the the over arousal so that we can get functional arousal, so that we can be working in that aroused state and we still get them responding to us. It's kind of like but what he does is he makes them super aroused, and and in that state of excitement they can't control themselves. And it's like,
Right.
and so they get like that, and then you might teach them to do something, and they get so excited that they can't control. They have no impulse control. So in that moment where they're so aroused, they have no impulse control.
Am I right in saying that he's trying to make a negative into a positive?
He's talking rubbish. He was talking about drive leaking, and it wasn't in the right context, basically.
Hey, are we doing the video? This
So, an example of drive leaking: if you've taught a dog to retrieve, and you've put an article out for retrieve, and you've got a dog sitting next to you, and they are, they're literally chomping at the bit and they want to go for it, but they have no impulse control to sit next to you and wait for you to cue them to retrieve. They're literally screaming, barking, trying to get to it. That's drive leaking.
Are we doing the video? I don't know if it's included. The one this morning? Because I'm very interested about
the dog wash. The dog wash.
Yeah, I'm very interested about that.
I'll have to go onto YouTube for that. So Kamina Canine says that she wants to know how grabbing the dog's bits and pieces equals drive leaking.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. He's just talking out of his arse.
Duff is not. And do you know what? That was not how he described it earlier.
Cartel and Dan said about this like a couple of weeks ago. They've said that he hears people talking about things and he latches onto those things, and then he uses them in the wrong context because he doesn't actually understand what they're talking about. And that's what he's done here. He's talking about drive leaking. It's basically, it's like going into that high state of arousal where you've got no impulse control and the dog just can't control itself.
So I think, I might be wrong here, correct me, but when the dog is on him and he's revved it up, arm in its mouth, shoving it backwards and forwards, he's teaching this dog bite work. So the dog is going to get excited when he shoves its arm in its mouth and starts rubbing it about, shoving it about. He thinks it's play.
Yeah.
So to me, that has made the dog's drive go up and the dog is giddy. Then he pushes it away and asks it to go, but not in a way dog understands. Then he grips the dog up. Now, to me, the dog is excited and wants to play, and he's using the excuse of that is drive leaking. That's why the dog's making that noise. However, the video shows different because when it makes that noise, it folds its ears, it changes its body language. Do you know what I mean? But I think he's trying to excuse the noise it makes when he grips it up as, it's drive leaking because it's making a noise.
I think what we've seen in everything that he does is he winds those dogs up, he winds those puppies up, he roughhouses them, he lets them bite him to a certain extent, he pushes them off of him, and that means they just keep coming back because they think it's a game. And he's already shown that the only way he knows how to stop that from happening, and when he's decided that it's too much, is to punish them. He hits them, or in that case he grabbed the puppy's little boy bits.
And now they're on an e-collar as well, so they'll be getting some of that too.
Yeah. That's the only way, and you see that in everything that he does. When in the other videos, but like even with his older dog, if that dog is super aroused and it's not doing what he wants it to do because he's not actually really taught it what he wants it to do in the first place, then the first thing he does is he jumps to the e-collar and gives it a really hefty belt of electric shock, on 100. He said he does that. And then
1, 2, 3. It gets a 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Sorry, interrupt. I don't know if one of the mods can just pin some of the questions that are coming in the comments, because there's some quite good ones in there somewhere.
You can't when we're in boxes usually.
And Let me see if I can go back through all them.
No.
You can pin comments when there's boxes.
No, you can't.
So Jay is obsessed with drive leaking. I know we keep saying it, but he literally is. And Dobie and Daxi has put, Jay is obsessed with drive leaking, but I've heard it's not actually a good thing.
No, it's not. it basically means the dog's over aroused. And that means they're not able to be properly functional in that state. It's if you look at the Yerkes Dodson law, that will basically tell you what the kind of, where if you don't have enough arousal, then you get a dog that won't respond to you. Then you get in the middle, you get that sweet spot where you've got the perfect mix of arousal, and you've got learning going on there, and then you push into over arousal where you really haven't got any learning going on and it's too much for the dog. And that is where you'd be pushing into things like drive leaking. And that's not a place where you want the dog to be. You want to be in that sweet spot. But then, because there is going to be a level of arousal happening, certainly with some of the dogs you're working in, it's just non-functional arousal. Yeah, exactly. It's just there's no function.
Yeah.
This is Jane, lovely.
Yeah, see, Cartel does all this, the bite work and all that, and Cartel's comment, it ruins a bite due to dog not being clear.
Yeah, there is just no clarity. There's no learning happening.
Comments.
Drive is functional. Yeah.
Someone else has asked about forging.
What was that? Sorry.
Forging.
Huh?
Oh no, that's one of Jay's new words. Forging.
Yeah, because he's heard somebody say it.
Because I said it. Well, I said it.
And then next day's live, he said about bottom awareness, because she said that in hers day before.
Yeah, because I was like, his dog's forge forwards and the crap at heel work, and he was like, "Oh, I need to stop you forging forwards." I'm like, "Yeah, you've heard that from me, Wally."
I can't lie.
Right then, come on, Kate. Next video, come on.
So hang on, Cam said so. Like, I know, innit?
Frustration.
Hey, don't put a spell on me, you bugger.
I'm not. I'm just mindful that you're working tomorrow and we have to keep you on time. That's all.
No, it's my day off tomorrow.
Although
I'll let you off.
It's my day off tomorrow.
Blind it up right for
Waggle
going hard.
Full day of waggle.
But it's training day for my own dogs tomorrow. So Cam says an overflow of excitable frustration, but not in the good sense.
Yeah, although
everybody's like obsessed with drive leaking. Everybody's obsessed with drive leaking because it's like his new bit of terminology at the minute.
But it's
and
an
it makes him sound like he knows what he's talking about. Yeah, but it makes him sound like he knows exactly what he's talking about, doesn't it? Because he comes out with these words, but he doesn't actually have any clue what these words that he's talking about, he don't know what they actually mean.
No, but he's
So,
he can use it. He's
people
using that as an excuse. That is his new excuse term. It's just drive leaking.
Oh, well, yeah. He's obsessed with it because he wants to portray these puppies as ultra drivey. Yeah.
Has anybody else got a drive that leaks?
My drive's fine. Mine's fine. Flame might leak tomorrow, Flame. When she's itching for them retrieves. She might leak tomorrow.
Put your eyeballs back in, Flame.
Well, she is only a Cocker Spaniel. Oops.
Yeah, but she's special and we love her.
She's actually the bane of my life. Is Flamey? She's the bane of my life. She's so good, but honestly, she just like goes. She just like, but you aren't you, Flame? You just you love. Right, so I'm gonna
just need worded for thick as
Halo, get down, mate. Halo, get down. And Halo's just been a twit. He's got a hoof in his mouth, so he thinks he's really big balls. Right. So the one I want to show next is quite a long one. It's not that one. And this is from his live on Saturday morning. Now it is quite long, but I want you to see what he does with the puppy when it does his treat back.
Well, you need to show it all, otherwise it'll be AI, won't it?
So it'll be AI, yeah. Right, shut up now so you can all hear.
Brothers, this is Hazard's sons. It's only 18
I'm sorry, but
weeks
that
old.
dog's gorgeous. It breaks my heart as well, Cam.
Yeah, you can't go now. You're tied up, you little cunt. Don't do that again, Biggs. Exactly. Look what happened. Look at you now. You're stuck down there. Yeah, they're my keepers. Get away, you do it again. Don't do it then. Can't just help yourself to them treats. What are you doing, rude boy? Come on, do it again, I dare you. I'm going through it.
So I'm gonna pause that just there. Do you want me to show it again, or
No, I mean that was quite clear, wasn't it? He pinched that puppy twice on the side of the face and the ear.
and the second time I don't think it went for the treat bag the second time, you know.
It's so cruel.
Was it going for the treat bag? Was it?
Yeah, he's got like them two pocket things on he's got two pockets and they've got treat. Well, actually, one of them's got his joints in it, and the other one's got treats in it. Honest to God.
Let's not say he uses anything other than a proper treat bag for working his dogs because he likes to take piss out of me.
So he chastised the puppy in the first place for going near the treat bag because that's where the treat bag is. But the second time, I don't think it went for the treat bag. I might be wrong, but I don't think it did. So I'm just going to go back.
I'll be honest with you, what concerned me watching that, Holly went really food driven and came back where she wouldn't go anywhere near food.
Get away, you do it again.
Oh, I bet that's difficult to see, isn't it?
Can't just help yourself to them treats. What are you doing, rude boy? Come on, do it again, I dare you. I'm going through it. You decided to go out, innit? So that's your problem. Yes,
He's very good at dangling the temptation in front of the puppies and then punishing them for it, isn't he?
It's like he gets the thrill out of it.
Right, Claire, something when he's training your dog, something he says very regular when he is supposedly training you is, he constantly says, we need to put your dog in a scenario. Now, all trainers say that. However, when Jay says it, what he means is we need to put your dog in something where he's going to fail. And I'll give you an example. My dog, he wanted to put my dog outside.
Right, can we stop grumbling, please? Thanks.
With him.
Jazz, he disappeared then. Jazz,
Sorry, cut off, my daughter rang. He wanted to put my dog outside in the dark, round the back of the flat with his prong on, and make the kid that lived here at the time come out with a balaclava on and make the dog jump, frighten him. He called it booming the dog. He wanted to make the dog, he wanted him to boom my dog in the dark so the dog reacted and we could correct that behaviour. Now, that never happened because my issue with that straight away as a fluffy was that kid lives in my house, and when that dog's being frightened by him, is he going to then go for him in the dark when he goes to the toilet? Do you know what I mean? So that one I know, but that Jay's terminology is to set the dog up in a scenario where it's going to fail so you can then teach it, but it's done in an aggressive manner.
Yeah, I've heard, yeah, I've heard things like that before from a lot of different people. That a lot of the sort of balance trainers, you know, will do that sort of thing, set the dog up to fail so that they can correct the behaviour. That's not unusual. I'm not surprised he suggested you do that, in all honesty. But it is dangerous ground, definitely.
Yeah.
Dobie and Daxie says, can we not forget that he said this stuff he does is pressure testing?
Yeah.
Okay.
What, he's putting pressure on him? Is he testing how much pressure he can put on him? Is that what he's doing?
The only pressure he's testing is blood pressure.
Yeah.
I think maybe we need some doctors to prescribe some amlodipine or something to reduce the blood pressure. Or actually hibiscus flower. Yeah, let's drink that instead. That's not pressure testing. That's just frightening the living shit out of a dog so that it reacts and then you can stop it. Again, that's creating some form of arousal, in that case fight or flight arousal, so that you can punish the dog out of it. And that's not teaching the dog anything. That's just suppressing the behavior in the moment and punishing the behavior in the moment. That's not learning in any it is. It's learning that if I react in a normal way, that you're going to potentially hurt me. And that's not good. Just that,
So-
if there's absolutely no need to teach a dog to do that.
So, my question then is, what sort of long-term effects is it going to have on these puppies if, hypothetically, he sold them on and sent them to new homes or something like that?
Oh, they're ticking time bombs. They're ticking time bombs. If the person that he sold them on to wasn't aware of the behaviour suppression and the punishments and things that these animals have been subjected to, and you put them into certain situations, then they're potentially going to be very, very dangerous. And this is why he whenever he takes his dogs out, he makes sure he goes out at times where it's a lot quieter, so there's nobody else going to be around. If he takes Hazard out, it's always obedience stuff where he makes sure that he's got the dog's full attention on him, because he can't take his eye off the ball, because that dog is a ticking time bomb.
Can I just ask you, given what you've seen, would you be training any of these dogs at school time in a street by a school?
No, that's dangerous. I wouldn't let those dogs anywhere near any member of the public without a muzzle on.
Yeah.
They're dangerous.
Yeah, they are literally ticking time bombs.
The
And it's frightening. They're 18 weeks old, these little babies.
And they bite for fun. They bite for fun. And we know that people that do bite work, that's a good thing. But he's not making the state. A lot of these lads that do bite work don't do a lot of training. You can ask them. They let the dogs be feral. They let them do bite work. They let them play, but it's play learning. They don't do all this whole stuff with him.
I mean, he's got these puppies on bite sleeps and everything from a young age as well. And actually, one of the things that what my friend Bryony was saying with her, when she does bite work, she teaches bite work, and she does stuff with Avon and Somerset Police as well. One of the things that she said is that actually with these little puppies, especially when they're going through teething, they're quite sensitive dogs, and if a tooth was to come out during bite work, then that actually can make them more sensitive to biting in the future because they lost a tooth. And that can freak some of them out. So she's like, when they're going through that teething stage and teeth are coming out because they're teething, she's like, we don't do bite work with them then. We just let them be puppies and let them chew on shit and lose their teeth and let their teeth grow in, because that can completely fuck up any bite work that you do with them when they're older.
A lot of bite work lads let the dogs be feral till they're a year old. That's what they say. A lot of them say they don't they let them be feral.
I wouldn't. Personally, I'm not in the camp of let a dog be feral until it's 12 months old, because there is a lot of really good learning that can be going on in that stage, in that period of time. That's when the brain is most susceptible to learning. The older the animal is, you're still going to get that learning, but it's not going to be as good as it would be when they're younger, and it takes longer for them to pick those things up. So I'm an advocate of getting as much good learning in there as you possibly can when you've got those younger animals, and then as they get older, then you just refine that learning. But certainly when it comes to sort of things like bite work and stuff, having conversations with Bryony, who does it for a living, she's just like, we don't mess around with this period, and these 8-week-old puppies shouldn't be biting anything really right now other than chew toys and maybe scrapping with each other a little bit while they're playing and learning about they do still need to learn about bite inhibition, because you need to be able to stop them biting, don't you?
They're not allowed to play. They're not allowed to play. As soon as they start playing, he tells them off. Like
that's because he doesn't understand the difference between play and fighting, I think.
Then he shouldn't be having puppies. Then he shouldn't be bringing puppies up.
No, and as well, Jazz, my original background was agility. And, even though Jay won't believe it, I competed at quite a high level. I was only one win off the top level at obedience. agility rather. So when we're bringing a new puppy on and we do everything on the flat, literally do everything on the flat, the puppies are running through wings. There's no poles. There's no poles on the floor. We literally run them through wings so that they learn the different patterns and they learn everything that way. And then we put like jump bumps as in between the wings instead. Never a pole. And I'll tell you why never a pole, because if a dog was running through the pole and it hit the pole and the pole rolled, and if they caught the toe or they hurt themselves or it freaked them out, it's very difficult then to get a dog to then enjoy jumping. And with agility, jumping is the majority of the sport. So it's the same in all different sports, not just like bite work and stuff. It's the same sort of thing. That's what we do, just from an agility point of view, because I don't want a young dog to freak itself out by hitting a pole and the pole rolling, or them catching a toe and hurting a toe or whatever. So that's just a different sport, and how we do it in a different sport. But it's the same sort of thing, because you don't want to, like Claire said, if the puppy loses a tooth when it's doing a bite, it's going to be reluctant to bite again because it's thinking, "Oh, ow!"
Yeah, and
an ouchie happened.
And when it comes to sort of, I mean, with the breed of dog that I've got as well, they're bred for hunting large game. They're, believe it or not, extremely sensitive dogs. Utter pussies, really. But if you put them into a certain scenario where they need to back themselves, they will back themselves, and they will back each other, because that's what they've been bred for. That's in their genes to do that. So if you've got dogs that are bred for fighting, then yes, they can be very sensitive. And when you put them in certain scenarios, it's in their genes to just respond in the way that you want them to. So with his pressure testing, you don't really necessarily need to do that, because it should be there innately if you've got the right breeding.
Yeah, Pipstar is quite big in agility, and she said foundation agility and no tugging during teething. I mean, I don't play tug with my dogs anyway, because I don't want that resistance on a retrieve when it's coming back in. So I don't play tug with me dogs anyway. But I wouldn't play tug if they were teething. Absolutely not.
Davey and Dax, you saw I'm hog hunting. Do you know what? I've got a friend of mine down near Bath who actually farms wild boar, and he's got a Weimaraner to keep control of those buggers.
Wow.
Bloody hell.
She's an impressive dog to watch dealing with those wild boar, I can tell you, because they are feisty.
Yeah, they are.
Handles them really nicely. That's the thing. Vais, they look like big softies, but if you put them
very clever.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I've got one that's Mr. Mastermind, one that just like lives to hunt, and the other one who's not on the planet for his brain cells.
Yeah, sounds like my riot.
Can we do the video? Next video.
Yeah, what's the next video?
All right, Mel. Why are all the women in my life getting all impatient all of a sudden?
I've got a short attention span, you know.
You like us feisty ones.
You shut up.
Do that? Frigging terrifying me, you lot. I'm telling you. Right. I don't know.
I really want to know about the one that today, and then also that swimming one as well is very interesting.
Oh, listen, I've got the swimming one where the puppies are ragging the towel off him. I think that's hilarious, mate.
Oh, is that the one that I sent you? Because I randomly caught it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm desperate to see the one. I want to see Claire's breakdown of the one where they showering the dogs.
You want to see what?
I'm desperate to see Claire's breakdown of him showering the puppy today.
Yeah, because I felt that was really. I was horrified by that.
You know, for anybody who says he's got a good relationship with the dogs, I thought that spoke volumes. Only because, and I'll tell you why, from a fluffy point of view, I'd only had Reggie in my house 3 days when he rolled in sludge outside and he was filthy. And I brought him in and picked him up, because I could pick him up, then I can't now. Picked him up, put him in bath and put shower on gentle, and I washed him. and he didn't react. I brought him it, room towel dried him, and I'd actually tried him with hairdryer and he let me. There wasn't a reaction. He was so just
He
let me
wanted
do it.
he wanted
So
to
that thing
lose
with
it
Pups today
this
made
morning,
me
but
think,
he tried so hard not to lose it.
yeah.
And you could tell so he so desperately wanted to just.
I think that showed that the dogs don't
You
trust
mean-
him. That alone this morning made me go, wow, they ain't got a good relationship with him. They don't trust him at all.
I have to say the caption there was a joke. Don't believe everything you see. Realise. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but he hasn't even put C. He's put SE. It's like, come off it.
It's not the brightest.
Is
It's
he
not the
writing
brightest
gangster
bulb,
as
is it?
well?
It's not the brightest bulb.
And I thought I struggled.
It's just not. So do we want to watch the swimming one? No, it's a
Yes,
4.5. It's 4. Where are we? Was it? All right, 4. Yeah, just over 4 minutes. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Turn it up for you.
Oh no, he don't get naked, does he? I don't want to see it then.
Something nearly came out my mouth then, that's what I'm keeping quiet.
Please, you could have warned me this was coming on, because you know I'm already obsessed with him, don't you?
Wow.
You're obsessed with him, nowadays. Obsessed. Oh.
Thrown him like that.
Look at him dragging that
my
puppy. He doesn't want to be lifted. And it yelped.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not turned me back. No, I'm alright. I'm good, Oops. I'm good. Okay, watch.
When 7 people watched that, did there?
Well,
Good boy. Hold it. Hi.
Go on, Babbies. Be Babbies. Go on.
at one
Am I
point-
tripping, or is Nicola still driving him round and recording him?
Yeah, that was her. That was her.
That's
You can
her.
tell by the
Anyway, a
camera.
tea towel.
Wow.
It's not much of a towel, is it?
Probably not much mangled cover, that's why.
That's a damn tea towel, it is. It's not.
This did me in, this did, when they nicked his towel. And then at one point you nearly see his arse. That's more outside. Oh, Mad Max might be here. You never know.
Shut up, Mary.
Oh, Mad Max might be here.
Why is he starting on you?
Oh dear.
That towel is seen better days.
He's in my green bin, probably.
It's like this woman that's recording him. Is she no shame?
That's his missus.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. Has she got no shame? Like,
Well,
I'll
no,
be
that's the
embarrassed.
baby mama. You have to get it correct. She's the baby mama now.
I'll be embarrassed. I'll be like, you're not looking good here, mate. Pack it in. Let's cut the line.
Yeah, you look like a twat, mate. Packing it.
In fact, I'd be cackling behind the screen.
I would.
mean, it's such a shame for them. So Kelly wants to know: is bar a common command for training dogs?
So, Jane, are you still on? Do you remember Barkbusters? So, Barkbusters is an Australian franchise dog training company, and they kind of trademarked this bar. So it's meant to be the sort of mimicking the sound of another dog telling another dog off, essentially. It's absolutely hilarious, and in all honesty, I haven't heard it for a long time because Barkbusters isn't really much of a thing here in the UK anymore. But yeah, it's a Australian balanced training franchise term, and they kind of, what they do is you buy a franchise and you go along to their training things, and they set up a website for you, and they give you all your training paraphernalia and everything that you need, and you're one of their trainers, and bar is one of the things that they tell you to do. You shout "bah" at the dog to like interrupt any behavior that you want them to stop. In my head, it always just makes you sound like a silly sheep.
Yeah. Why don't you just say stop? Or
because
enough now. Like,
because it's essentially all it is making a huge loud noise to like shouting stop or shouting no. It's using tone of voice and for that low sound, and making it loud to sort of shock the dog into stopping. But the thing is, the more you do it, the more the dogs are going to start to become immune to it. They'll habituate to it and just start to ignore it. And that's when you start having to escalate the way that you ask an animal to stop doing something that you don't want them to do.
Yeah, and you were barking at them at like 4 days old.
Yeah. So from my point of view, if a dog is doing something that you're not entirely happy with, then you could condition a positive interrupter. So you would classically condition the positive interrupter and then use that, but then you would phase that out pretty quickly and start bringing in an alternate behavior instead. So the thing that they're doing, whatever triggered the behavior that you don't like, becomes the trigger to an alternate behavior instead. But that's smart training, and I don't think he would know how to do that if that paper bag smacked him in the face. But yeah, so that's what he's doing. Essentially, it's trying to be an interrupter to behavior that he doesn't like. It doesn't really work. Clearly doesn't work, actually.
Well, clearly not, because they don't seem to take any notice.
No. But
so
the thing is,
from
that video point of view, he picked those puppies up and carted them into the water. It's quite choppy sea for a start. So that created, we're going into fight or flight realm there as well, because they're looking at that sea going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So it wasn't their choice to go in there. He literally picked them up and it was sink or swim, guys.
Yep.
And then you got panic, and then when they got out of the sea, they were still in that panic state, and that's that where we're going into over arousal. There's no sort of control for them in that state, so that's why they then started going for him and grabbing his towel and ragging on his towel, because they were in that over aroused state, and in that over aroused state they don't know what to do. So they're going to go in for behaviors that they've got already, which is grabbing things, biting things, tugging things, because he doesn't know how to calm them down at all, other than screaming and shouting at them
did you see his live this morning? I feel like this would be great. I know you haven't got it like on tap, Kate.
No, I didn't see
it. I can get it on live. It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube. I can sort it out.
Basically, he decided he was going to take his dogs for a wash in the wash. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, I'll show that next. Show that next.
Wash something.
But that's what I was going to say. KK9's exposed. When he was lifting the pup, you could see the resistance in that pup, and it yelped. Yeah. You could see the pup was like, "I don't. What are you doing to me? I don't want to be picked up." And it was.
I think they yelp a lot of the times before he's even done something because they're anticipating it.
Yeah. You're not wrong, because he does do a lot of stuff to them so that they don't like. So they do it to try and appease him and to stop him. In all honesty, though, no dog particularly likes being picked up. You know, they're when they're grounded on the floor, they know exactly what they're doing. They know how to move. They know how to get away. The second they're off the ground, they've got nothing.
No.
And that's unnerving for a lot of dogs.
Yeah,
so
my Halo doesn't like it at all. He does not like being picked up.
No.
Whereas Mole will voluntarily hurl himself in my arms at speed.
We love him.
Doesn't he do it though, Mel? He will hurl himself
He does
at
it to me as well. He did
at speed. He
No
loves it
different.
because he's a nosy git and he can see what's going on when he's up high because he likes to be dead nosy.
The thing you also do have to consider is how you pick that dog up. I mean, he picked one up under either arm, and that means that he wasn't supporting the back end, and that can have a really detrimental effect on the spine and the hips of those dogs. So
They don't feel secure, do they? It's like, well, a baby. You wouldn't hold a child like. Do you know what I mean?
No. It isn't ideal at all. Yeah.
Well, none of it's ideal, is it? Can I just show you this one of them? I don't even know, and then I'll find the one on YouTube.
Go for it.
This one's of him in his. This one is of him in his garden. Now I don't even know which dog this is, whether it's Biggs, Chaos, or Red. I don't know. We don't seem to have heard anything about Red for a good few days. So I don't know. I do not know which this puppy is.
He said something on a live. I can't remember when it was. Maybe it was yesterday. He said he's got 3 dogs in the house. Or he's got 3 dogs left. So that would be Hazard, Biggs, and Chaos. I think Red isn't there anymore.
Right. So I want to show you this one.
Yeah, Red
He's trying to do
now called
with this
Lucifer.
dog. Red is now called Lucifer. Thanks, Bear. So he's trying to do heel work with this dog, this puppy. I'm just gonna let you watch it. But this is the video, I think, where he says, "I need to teach you rear end awareness." And he's got that from me because I whop on about it a lot, don't I? So he's got that from me.
He's been copying us, Kate. Like
It's me
everything said,
thing.
he's been copying.
He has. He's going to be saying deflection tomorrow. Watch.
Yeah.
Well, he is the king of deflection. Right, I'm going to show you this.
There's no sound, Kate.
Yeah, good boy. Yeah, good boy. Yeah. Dropping too much. Yeah. Yes. Fucking all the crumbs in my pocket.
Why am I hide from you?
Alright, yeah, look.
So, I mean, I know what I saw in that, but I'm sure you'll have seen more, Claire, and you can explain it a heck of a lot better than I can.
I mean, for a start, that leash was on that dog's neck so tight that even though he was going leash pops, there was no loosening of it. So that even from a balance training point of view, because there was no loosening of the leash in that point, there was no effect really. It was just getting tighter and tighter and tighter. So that was just, I mean, that was rubbish. I'm not entirely sure what most of that video even was, but in the end there, it looked like he was trying to use opposition reflex to teach the dog to pull back instead and come back into heel rather than pull into the opposition reflex, so pulling forwards, which from that sort of sciencey point of view makes sense, because if the dog pulls forward, then they would automatically be thinking, I need to come backwards. But that from a trying to teach heel position or leash walking point of view, that was I'm not entirely sure what he was thinking about doing there, apart from having an excuse to yank on a dog's collar, on a puppy's collar as well. I mean, doing that on a young growing animal just blows my mind. Hello? Everyone's gone quiet.
I'm still here, Angel. She's just queuing next video up, I think.
Oh, right. It doesn't even gas up the dog for doing anything good. So actually, I did see someone say that's a really boring training session. In all honesty, if you saw some of my training sessions, you'd think they were boring. From my point of view, a good training session looks boring because it's done properly.
Yeah.
If you've got a training session that looks too jazzy and is too all over the place, then you're potentially, going to be, certainly with those dogs, firing them up too much. So I wouldn't want to do that. I would want to keep things in that, so that we've got learning happening not in a boring state, but in a sort of what we would call lower arousal. So we're making sure that we're using our rewards properly. We're adding in a little bit of fun. And actually, when we're doing things like, teaching heel position, I might actually bring in a little bit of, flick a treat or a toy out in front of the dog, so that they get the opportunity to run forward and chase something and grab it, so that they can come back into position, so they kind of break out and come back again, so that it's a different kind of reward then. And that, because they've got the opportunity to use a little bit of prey drive there, that part of the predatory motor pattern, lock on something, run forward, grab it and bring it back, that can spice things up a little bit. But it's finding that sweet spot and knowing how much you can do with the dog. And in all honesty, because he spent so much time firing these dogs up and putting them into this state of over arousal all the time, I think he would struggle with using anything like that, because they would fire up too quickly.
They automatic, to me, they look like, they see him, they think, oh, go. It's like, it's instant, isn't it? They don't seem to know how to be calm at all.
No. It's either fired up or being told off.
And we don't see them when they're in the crates. That must be their shut-off time, when they shut away.
Yeah, I think that's probably, I mean, you get it a lot in some of the sort of older school gun dogs and things as well, because the dogs are so fizzy. The only way that they know to be calm, get the proper rest that they need, is to put them into kennels where they don't get any kind of arousal at all, so that they can properly shut down and calm down. And that's probably what he does with these guys, because he fires them up constantly when they're out. They're doing stuff all the time, and he's winding them up on and off throughout the day. I mean, he's on lives on and off throughout the day constantly with those dogs. So he's
K9's Exposed says it's not a collar, it's a normal lead as a slip. Does that mean it's a lead? Does that mean that the clip's fastened back round the lead at the back of the dog's neck?
I think it looks like he's looped it.
So what he's done is he's taken the handle of a normal lead and he's threaded the clip end of it through that, and then he's put it over the dog's neck like a makeshift slip lead. And then he's using that, which is why it's not loosening and tightening like a normal slip lead would if you were going to use it in that way to do leash pops and things. And it's just getting tighter and tighter and tighter every time he does the leash pop.
Can't he afford proper tools?
Well, he probably hasn't got a slip lead or anything, has he, if he's having to use a leash like that?
Wow.
He should have, with all them gifts he's had.
I think what really stood out for me was the fact that the puppy kept pulling away from him.
Yeah.
And then it went round the back of him as well. Hi, K9, you okay?
Yeah, dude, I'm doing great. So when I was looking at that video, right, like, yeah, it was boring, and just like y'all were saying, like, a lot of training sessions, professional trainers, is going to look boring. However, like, the whole idea of using a regular collar or a regular leash as a slip leash, I don't really have anything, opposed to that, in general. Like, if you forgot some equipment at home or whatever. And
it's an emergency thing, isn't it?
Yeah. But it looked like he was at home. Like, he should have slip leads on hand. He should, right?
Yeah.
But beyond that, it's pretty obvious that there was no clarity, right? The dog didn't know what to do, so he hasn't taught the dog what to do yet. And then he's applying a lot of different pressures, right? And if we're going to use aversive pressures in dog training, any good balanced trainer will tell you is we teach the yeses first before we utilize negative reinforcement and positive punishment, right, to solidify those behaviors. But he's just at that point kind of just yanking and cranking. The dog was excited for food, but not excited to perform because it didn't know what to do.
That's Jay.
Yeah, that's what he does all the time, though. That's if you watch anything. There's no real thought about anything. It's just wind the dog up and then punish it to suppress it.
And that's a good point, KK9s. No, you don't, because everything I taught Mole, if you go right back through my videos and you see the very first, we were off lead on my friend's field. Now he's a spaniel. It's ingrained in him to want to get his nose down and sniff. But we did everything. I only put a lead on him to do obedience with when I started competitive obedience last year. Everything we did was freehand because I want him to be able to do it because he wants to be with me and he wants to do it, not because I'm keeping him in a position so he can't go anywhere.
I'm exactly
no,
the same
you don't.
line.
Yeah, no, you don't. You don't need.
Sorry, Kate. There's Al's Canine Coaching has just been asking. It's really hard to give an overview because you don't get much to type in the comments. But they're asking us who he is and why it is that we're covering. They didn't really see the clip that we showed, so they were asking what it is that we're actually covering about.
Oh, is this Els?
Yeah.
Hello, Els.
Oh, hi, Els. Els is one of my former students. I taught her how to be a dog trainer. She's lovely. So she was on her own live earlier on.
It's a slip lead for low distraction environments and stuff. I would say it's dog and dog dependent, really, and environmentally dependent, right? Some dogs, I've seen some dogs like that are just highly distracted just because a leaf blew by, right? And so applying a little bit of extra pressure, obviously after teaching the yeses, or just take it to an even less distracting environment to teach the heel, right? Reinforcement history is going to go a very long way in this, and applying pressure in a backyard like that, like he was doing, it's just, to me, it's kind of ridiculous. You should just, that if you're teaching obedience to a puppy like that, it should just be it's a game, and it's constantly a game. It messes up a little bit. Cool. Let's just, reset and just reinforcement history, get the dog really driven to want to perform. And then from there, you can up the distractions. And then when you up the distractions, the dog knows what to do. And then at that point, some leash pressure can apply. Sure. But the dog knows what to do at that point.
In all honesty, though, the way that I'm force free. So I don't use leash pressure when I'm teaching leash.
Yeah.
I don't use any kind of opposition reflex at all. So with my dogs, I go through reinforcement history, and then we go through schedules of reinforcement. And I can walk I've got 3 big Weimaranas. I show and I work my dogs, and I can literally walk all 3 of them on my little finger down the street, and they won't pull because I've gone through all of this separately with them, and they don't know leash pressure. They just know I want to be with you. And when the lead goes on, they're just like, oh, it's a lead. But because I have worked so hard, and I don't, and just like Kate was saying, my dogs don't spend a huge amount on lead ever because I work so hard on working on them paying attention to me and being around me. And then when I need them to go out and work, they will go out and work. So I've got that distance as well. But when I call them in, they're with me. So when the leash goes on, there's no need for any pressure because they're like, oh, we're doing this. This is where we want to be. So if you get it right, you don't need any pressure at all.
Sure. Sure. In a perfect world, though, right? Like, again, not every single dog is. True. It is in a perfect world, right? Not every single dog's the same. We can't control every single aspect of our environment, right? And so it's going to be like, for instance, genetic drives. We can never out-train. We can manage genetic drives, but we can't out-train. And absolutely, if you do some hardcore reinforcement history like you've done and build that rapport with your dog, you're the most valuable resource. So everything else doesn't care. They don't care about, right? It still doesn't supersede certain drives, right? Like there are plenty of dogs out there that are just so motivated to go chase a cat or a squirrel, for instance, that doesn't matter what kind of reinforcement history you have, that drive supersedes it, right? So it's motivation versus motivator, right?
Yeah.
But at that point, you can argue, well, then manage it, right? You should be able to, if it's your own personal dog, you should know how your dog's going to react and predict the behaviors. And that you see a cat up the street and you know the distance you're at, okay, turn around. You don't have to go by that and have the dog yank you. You can absolutely do that, right? So me, like as a dog trainer, like I am balanced. I will use pressure and aversives and stuff, but it's going to be very dependent on so many different factors. And most of the time it's mainly dependent on the fact that, you know, outside of uncontrollable environments, the owner factor, right? Because most owners do not have the skill set to do really good positive reinforcement training. They just don't. And it does take a lot of good skill sets to be able to utilize force-free methods through and through without any aversives.
And that's the sort of thing that we need to be promoting more. Quite honestly.
Oh, absolutely. I don't.
Better trainers out there teaching it, then they're teaching their clients that. That's what we need to be promoting, not crap like this.
I mean, no. What he's doing, like in general, like is just crap.
But this is his thing. He's showing this as you know, to his little sheeples as training. This is what you should be doing, and it's really it's just abuse.
Yeah, for sure. Like, you know, there's plenty of like shit. You can probably look at some of my videos and be like, oh, right. But also the behaviors of the dogs are extremely dangerous behaviors happening. It's out of control to the point that the owner has zero control. It's like, look, this is going to suck. I'm going to have to do something more heavy-handed or severe just to get the control back in the owner's hands so we can start doing positive reinforcement training.
That's management, though. That's training in that point. That becomes
exactly.
There's a difference.
Exactly. Yes, for sure.
You're not lighting one up just for fun like Jay does. You're not giving it the cheeky wink and lighting the dog up on a 1, 2, 3 because it's fun.
Yeah.
No, because in that state, that dog is already over aroused, and you're not going to get. There's no learning happening when the dog is in that state. So this is where I was talking about that Yerkes-Dodson law earlier on. That is when you're in that state of arousal that there's no learning happening. Nothing is happening. You need to bring them down so that you can get into learning. And in that moment, that's not training. That just becomes management of what's going on. You're not training anything there. You just need to manage the situation, which is where, you know, you will use leashes sometimes, and you will use barriers, and you know, there's other things that you have to do that you need to put into place. And you know, even from a force-free trainer point of view, you know, we would put management in place, like things like, you know, puppy pens, baby gates, crates, you know, all those sorts of things, so that we can then bring the dog down. And we will even then start looking at, you know, bringing in things like the seeking system to try and bring the arousal levels down. You know, we'd be doing health tests as well to find out if the reason why the dog is in that state of arousal is to do with pain, hormonal imbalance. We're looking at all of those very different things. And also if we're getting suppression of innate behavior as well, which causes a huge amount of stress in animals, and why in the domestic pet dog that people go out and get, there's a lot of the time, because you know, if you've got a pet home that goes out and gets a working Cocker Spaniel, for example, and they're not tapping into the fact that that dog wants to hunt, it wants to sniff, it wants to retrieve, then you're suppressing that behavior constantly. That is going to cause stress in the animal, and you're going to see displacement and fallout behavior as a result of that those owners will think is bad.
You're going to have to be careful here, Claire, because he's going to be so clever after this live, I tell you.
Yeah.
Probably there with his little notepad now.
Telling you what, he's got his notepad and pencil out.
Literally. Coming off the
all he needs to do is watch my videos and he'll learn all of this stuff. But
I mean, most of my clients, when it comes down to like a lot of the reactive responses, when it comes to the BMOD training I'm doing, I can dwindle it down to just a few things is the problem, right? And majority of the time, it was somebody picked a dog that wasn't right for their lifestyle or environment.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. And then you get suppression
issue.
behavior. Yeah, you get suppression of innate behavior.
Correct.
And a lot of the ones that I do, in all honesty, are linked to some kind of pain or discomfort. So those are your main factors, and that's the thing. And you know, if you understand that, great. But a lot of, you know, people like him wouldn't see that. They would just see a dog that's expressing behavior that the owner doesn't want. So what are we going to do? We're going to jump to an aversive tool to suppress that behavior. We're not changing behavior. We're just suppressing it through fear and discomfort. And that is not what you want. And that's how he works, because he doesn't have the knowledge.
He doesn't even look at why the behavior is happening.
No.
And like my argument, like when it comes to utilizing, let's say, since we're talking about him and like, suppressing behaviors, right? So, what is it? Escape avoidance training, right? Aversive style training. This would be more compulsion stuff, right? The validity behind that only applies is if you follow up with a hell of a lot of R plus classical and operant conditioning, right?
Yeah.
Because you have to rebuild that dog from the ground up. You have to teach the dog that it's okay to be around these things and it's not scary. You have to the point of it would be, we need to create avoidance now so that way we can change the emotional state after you're under control, right? But these dogs that he's working right there in that video, for instance, is not an out of control dog. There's no reason for that. Like when I go into a BMOD client, I look at all the 5 domains of animal welfare. So I'm looking at environment, the diet, the physical health. I'm looking at the behavioral state and the mental state, right? And usually there's one or multiple domains of animal welfare being broken, and that's why the dog's reacting.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I would go in there looking at those things as well, because you're making sure that you're meeting the 5 freedoms. But you're also looking at, your ethology, what's the function of everything that's going on as well.
Yeah.
This is why, we look at ABA and that it covers everything. But he's not doing, from his point of view, what he's doing is he's creating more arousal and then having to punish it down because he doesn't know how to calm those dogs down. He winds them up and doesn't know how to calm them again. And all he ends up doing is then punishing more. And he thinks that is he thinks it's the dog's drive that is doing that, but that's just the dog's arousal. There's a difference.
Yeah. No doubt. No, I just, when I came up, it was really to speak on that last video of, the lack of clarity and utilizing a leash as a slip lead is not always a bad thing.
It's an in the moment thing, isn't it?
Yeah. But you should also be aware, just like you were saying, some leashes, leashes are all built different, right? There's plenty of leashes that I own that if I turn it into a slip lead, it would basically lock in on itself, while I have others that would loosen up immediately, right? I'm going to choose based on that if I have to use one. So...
But the thing is, though, most trainers have got various different leashes that they would use. I mean, I use like the Holty training leads, so you've got the double-ended clips with the various different lengths on. So depending on how you're going to use them, you can put them around your waist or whatever. But I've also got a few different slip leads as well, because I do have working gun dogs. So so I use those sorts of things, and I've got it as a backup if I need it. I've also got chain link leads as well if I've got dogs, so that I can use those if I really need to, if I've got big dogs that like chewing on leads. There's various different things that you have.
I have an entire wall in my living room that is all hanging up on hooks, is various different leashes, collars, like anything you can imagine that you can put on a dog.
So none of you actual dog trainers have just got the one lead that you slip through the handle now? Just to clarify.
No, I don't use a standard. So that leash that he was using there, I'm just trying to think. I don't think.
Have you only got one leash?
Don't get me in no trouble, you.
I've got.
Not gonna lie, like,
have you only got one leash, Angel?
I haven't got a leash.
I haven't got any. I don't walk my dogs. Remember.
So if you are a dog trainer and you train other people's dogs, if you train enough dogs, you're going to eventually get a lot of free gear. Like, people just give you leashes and harnesses left and right, man.
Yeah, they do. Like, I bought this and it don't work. Here, keep it.
Dude, I have, I have bags full of leashes that I don't use.
Al's has just said she needs to change the K9 in her name because she now thinks it gives the wrong impression.
There's a couple of questions and a couple of comments.
Yep.
Hang on a minute. So Jay says he trains like Hans from Shield's K9. I don't even know who that is.
Who is that?
I have no
Shield
idea.
K9 guy is
I've heard of Shield
he's
K9.
a protection guy.
Right, okay.
Quite famous on TikTok, YouTube, and all of that. He builds quite high intense dogs for IGP and high level stuff. And this is what he was quoting the other day when his excuse for running the e-cover at 127 was, Hans does it. Yeah, but Hans doesn't come online and just fry a dog's head off for no reason.
Listen, he used to do this about Nino Druitt from STSK9 until they kicked him off his course.
Yeah, and it's like, you're not on that level, And my question in his live the other day when he said that, it's like, I says, when was the last time you was in an arena with Hans? When was the last time your dog was in the same arena as him? To put yourself on that level of understanding on how to use that tool and how to build a dog like that. And I think that's the difference, because I think some of the things I've agreed with, and some of the things I haven't, because it's like they're not pet dogs, are they? Let's be honest. He's trying to build a dog for sport. Okay, so I think that's where some people can get conflicted there, and I also think it massively craps on the balance training side of things, because that is not what I was taught. It's a million miles away from what I was taught. But
So
I'm also not building a dog to go and do that. So I feel a bit conflicted to comment. But it's
from my
cringe to
point of
watch, isn't
view,
it?
even from my point of view as a force-free trainer, I mean, I've seen balance training. You know, I've been there, worn the t-shirt. I'm old.
Yeah.
They, you know, that what he does isn't even balance training. It's just wind the dog up so that you can punish it down. And there's no real thinking. There's no real training going on there either. I mean, even when whenever you see Hazard and he sets him up to guard, where you know you've got the item out the front and you ask the dog to guard and he barks at that item. Usually when he does that, Hazard then just runs straight in on a retrieve, and he'll do that maybe twice, and he has to zap that dog both times until the dog goes, oh my god, okay, you want me to just bark at it. Now in that moment, I don't think the dog understands that he's actually he wants him to bark at the item or guard that item. He's now just barking at the item because when he runs towards it, he gets zapped. So he's now going to shout at it because he thinks that is the cause of the zapping.
There's one where he's doing that. Sorry,
that's not training. That's not teaching the dog what you want it to do.
There's one where he's doing that in the street with a prong as well, and it's like you haven't even given the dog a command for it to mess up, and you've just cranked it. I don't get it. And it's like you're doing one thing, and then suddenly, and I'm watching these things trying to learn, you know, because I want to try and get into the sport, but it's
Don't
like
learn from him.
no, it's like I don't understand what you've done there, what the dog's done wrong. If I can't understand what the dog's done wrong, then how does the dog know?
Yeah.
So sometimes
You just cranked it for no reason, and that's what gives prongs and balance training a bad name.
Yeah.
And
So
it's not fair.
it should be definitely obvious why a correction was created in a dog, or when it occurs, right? Like I love silent training to where it's not a command that's dictating the dog doing something, it's the dog's behaviors, right? And it allows them to make really good decisions. However, if it comes to, like, let's say a dog lunges, right? I'm not going to have to say a command or whatever to do a correction, but it's going to be obvious why a correction happened. There's antecedent behavior, consequence, good or bad. It depends on behavior. But if you can't tell why the correction's happening, then that's an issue.
Yep.
Yeah, he didn't give the dog any command or anything. The dog was just stood there looking at something, at his toy, I think, and then he just cranked the dog to bring it to a heel. It's like, but why did you not ask it? Was the dog, what, are you using telepathy here or what? I don't get it.
I mean, he's a very prime example of the Dunning-Kruger effect.
Yeah.
Like straight up.
There are quite a few of those. There are quite a few of those prime examples of the Dunning-Kruger effect on TikTok.
Oh, for sure.
Going back to something you said earlier, Claire, where you're working in that sweet spot, that's what balance training gave me, and that I couldn't achieve with the positive at the time when I adopted Nelly. So I sought out a balance trainer, and that allowed me to work within that sweet spot. I used the tools to manage her, and now look at what I can do.
But on the other, here's the problem in the balance training
the
world.
better trainer you are, the more you can work in that sweet spot without needing to use that kind of correction.
Yes.
I don't. If I think I need to correct a dog because the dog's done something wrong, that means that I have fucked up in what I've taught that dog to do. Not the dog.
I don't use them as corrections.
I've not been clear enough.
I think this is a
Claire,
biggie.
he hadn't actually explained himself very well, Claire.
I think if you look
train
at
a dog from a puppy, he rescued a dog that had already got civil intent, mate.
Yeah,
that's fair enough. That's fair enough.
It was just management. All I needed to do was manage to stop her doing that thing. You know, like with the prong, I don't crank her. I stand still. She applies her own pressure and then backs off, and then we carry on.
But if you've taught the dog, if you now can then we were talking about the layers of learning. So you've already got a dog that has got that level of learning anyway. So you can apply levels of learning on top of that. But like I said, you may still get resurgence of early learning anyway, because the earliest learning is usually the strongest learning. It's the more reinforced. But you can apply more. You can apply newer learning, which, if it gets a high enough rate of reinforcement, then it should override the earlier learning to most of mostly.
To piggyback
I
on that,
disagree with a lot
I
of the positive only stuff at all. You know, and the science-based stuff. There's a lot to it, but I do think it gets tarnished by people crapping on each other and being so adamant that this way's right and this way's wrong. You know, if you kind of just spoke about it like we are tonight, a mixture of people, you kind of get a lot out of it.
Yeah, like,
and I
like
will, that's the thing. I'm open to having those conversations, but you end up with people sort of saying, I mean, there's a few absolute wallies all over TikTok that come out with things, and you just kind of like, you're talking about something, you're flapping your gums, as I like to say, and you don't actually know what you're talking about in any way, shape, or form. I mean, I've got a few examples of that on my TikTok feed at the moment, where I've actually had to correct their homework, as I call it, because they just don't. They're talking about something that they really don't know about, and from a behavioral science point of view, I'm just like, what are you talking about? Even from a biology point of view, they're completely wrong. And but because they speak so confidently about these things, people will believe them. And that's what happens with Jay. He speaks because he talks loudly and he shouts, people believe him.
Well, that's the Dunning-Kruger effect again. What Dunning-Kruger solved was, or what they both figured out was that people that are dumb are too dumb to know they're dumb, so they're confidently dumb.
I think what I saw
they believe it. He's living in that world, okay?
Pet owners wouldn't understand.
It's a lovely place to be in Mount Stupid.
Yeah, but like I said, it's like what the balance trainers gave me was the ability to move forward with Nelly.
Management. They gave you management.
Management, and that's all it was. It wasn't punishment, and I must stress that it wasn't punishment. It was communication and management.
Well, it depends. If you're going to actually go with definitions of learning theory, right? Punishment just means to reduce the behavior from occurring. So anything that reduces behaviors is technically a punishment, but it's not corporal punishment, and what people think punishment means, right?
Is what my point
is. So what I was going to get at is we were talking about like what balance training gave you and the force-free aspect of things and stuff. One issue that I've seen time and time again in the balance training community is that way too many balance trainers refuse to go in a softer approach because their methods are not going to be appropriate for that dog. Like here's an example. Today I called a more of a force-free dog trainer because I have a German Shepherd that I'm working with high levels of anxiety in different areas and stuff, but it's also a very sensitive dog when it comes to pressures. And I'm like, okay, well, my methods that I normally would go for with this stuff, I don't feel that it's right for this dog. Let me call somebody that is more equipped for this and ask some questions, get some advice on how I should approach this, right? That's what makes a good trainer. You can be a balanced trainer and then still call a force-free trainer and be like, hey, this is more up your alley. I have a client for you. I'm going to send them your way, or can you help me so I can get better for a dog like this, right? But there's not enough of that happening.
Yeah, I think
another video on in comments, Kate, love.
Yeah, a lot of the balance trainers aren't open to listening to us, though. That's the problem. And this is why, I put my videos out there so that I can talk about the science. I don't care whether you're balanced or not, but I'm going to say I talk about the science of behavior and why we as force-free trainers do what we do. And
well, the reason why I can talk to you and not shit all over you is because we can have a normal conversation. But exactly. I can also see why a lot of balance trainers don't give the light of day to force-free trainers, because there's a huge handful of force-free trainers that are on the extreme side of things that are going to call you an abuser left and right.
Yeah,
and there's only so much that I can take of being called an animal abuser before I just say fuck off.
Yeah, because I'm just going to highlight on that bit as well, because I've lived with this dog for 2 years and I cannot tell you how much A, this dog has changed my life, and B, how much this dog has taught me. There is no book, there is no lesson, there's no class, there's no course, nothing. Living with a dog like this is so frigging intense on a daily basis. And then when you kind of make a little bit of a progress with her, you put a little video out there and it's like, then suddenly you call that. It's like, no, that's not what it's about. We're all dog lovers. We should be praising each other regardless of, because you don't really know the circumstances just watching that 5-second video.
Back to Jay, though, he's not a balance trainer, even if he goes under the face.
He's not a trainer at all. He's got he's no foundations in behavior training, learning, any of that at all. He's just a randomer who's decided that he's going to call himself a trainer because he went out, got himself a dog, and decided he'd enter into a sport. And this is the problem, because there's no regulation. Anybody can do that. And a lot of the people that you see all over TikTok that will come out with random crap, if you
I call them
actually
TikTok
look at their
trainers.
credentials, they've got nothing. They have no credentials at all, other than the fact that they got themselves a dog and decided that they were going to call themselves a dog trainer.
I call them armchair
And
trainers.
in
And I
fairness,
think
in
this
this
is what
situation,
tarnishes.
it doesn't matter if you're force-free or not. This is pure abuse. It's not about what training methods we're using, because we've gone beyond that now.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Come on
Anyway,
then, let's
what's
have
the
a look
next
at this
video?
dog wash.
Like I was just looking at a video that Jay had that's on the Expose Jay or Expose Him or whatever page, and it was the one where he's just holding like the Malinois like muzzle like tightly so it can't open its mouth for an extended period of time. And I'm like, what is he trying to communicate with this dog doing this? What is this?
Likes to
It's
give
not.
them pain.
It's not. He's bullying it.
That will be my question to you guys, because I'm not the professional.
Well, I'm not a professional, but you can damn
Well,
well tell
I'm a
that he's
professional
just-
and I
he's
still
like
don't know.
a bloody-
No.
He's a bully.
Bullying
Like,
it.
he's a bully dog.
And also, when you're using a tool at its max, like say for the e-collie, he's using it maxed out, right?
Yes.
Surely if you've desensitized that dog to that level, it's just going to blow it off at any point, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay,
So,
next, because the
Why
dog
would
bit him.
you use? I'm asking the question. Why would you use it at that level? Is it to build up more intensity? Is it drive? Is it what? What are you enforcing, or what are you punishing in that instance?
He hasn't, because he doesn't know how to train it properly. So, you know, when you're talking about the levels of training, I mean, even I don't use them, but even you would condition it at lower levels, wouldn't you? And you'd find out when there's a max spot, and then you'd go lower and lower and lower, because the dog is going to be sensitized to it. So but he doesn't know how to do that, so he'll do it at a certain point. The dog will blow it off, which is why he then has to ramp it up. And that at that high point, that is, and when you hear that dog scream, it's getting that intense muscle spasm and that pain and discomfort, and then it has to do what it needs to do, but that's purely because he puts the dog into such high arousal, because he doesn't know how to work in that or get a dog into a sweet spot, and he hasn't edged into that higher levels of arousal. He doesn't know how to do that at all, because there's no real thought in what he's doing. It's just literally wind up and punish.
Can I
He's
ask?
40 plus years of age and can't get a woman in a sweet spot, so what chance does he have with a dog?
Wow.
Sorry,
Yeah, but
I
you
cut
might
out
get extra
myself.
reach without any teeth. But anyway,
Only with
sorry.
gifters.
This is a question, obviously. Again, what would have been the purpose of the dog that he's trying to build? Is it just for a sport? Because I couldn't imagine living with something like that. Is it? You know.
So he keeps
No,
going on
personal
about making these pups up for KMPV, but I believe he's never going to be able to do that because they're not going to let him compete. But he keeps going on about making them up as KMPV dog. No, I don't do this sport. I'm a gun dog person.
I
But
don't
he
even.
also says personal protection dogs. But I
Yeah,
wouldn't want to live with them with drive they're going to have. I would definitely
He
not want to
hasn't,
live with one
because
of them.
he's scared, because he's annoyed too many wrong people.
What it looks like he's building the dogs up for is for clout, right? Look what my dogs can do. Can your dogs do this? I'm the best trainer in the world, right? I'm a professional dog trainer. My dogs, I think less is more when it comes. I have a Catahoula leopard dog and a husky, right? Very high drive dogs. We just focused on some of the really intense basics, right? So recall, stays, no running out of the door, don't jumping on people, crap like that. And I don't have anything else for my dogs that I've taught them, because I don't need all the tricks. I don't need the perfect heel. I don't need the centers and crap like that. My dogs are experts at what they know, and that's all I need them to do. And then we get to focus on being dogs and having fun and doing the stuff, right? Like,
Well, did anyone hear him earlier? He was gonna get a hawk.
Oh God, yeah, Mel. Me and Mel were dying. Me and Mel were dying.
He was going to start breeding birds and have them as protection. He goes, I could get the birds to come on the motorbike with me.
No.
Is he alright? Was he smoking something at this time?
No, I don't think so. He was genuine about it. He was like,
he wears smoking. He's always smoking, but he got a lad in his life that got
but you've got to be smoking
like,
something harder than the broccoli if you think you're taking them out on a bike with you.
well, no, he goes, I'm going to get them for protection.
No,
And then when the guy said to him, well, they live 50 years,
He's going to have a
the
flock
drop
of
on his
protection
face.
dogs.
If he wants
Minnie
a bird
Mullane
that's going to
said
do
that
some
they've
damage,
reported him.
if he wants a bird that's going to do some damage, he wants a tawny owl. They go for your face.
Oh, you were in there, weren't you, Claire? I remember you saying about the owl.
Yeah, I've worked with a lot of, so I've worked with some really impressive birds of prey, but tawny owls are savage.
There we are.
They literally.
Right, I don't mean to be rude. I don't mean to be rude, but I'm trying to check in.
Yeah,
it's quarter to
Right,
11.
just a couple of comments. Minnie has said she's reported him, and with these videos, he would not be allowed in KMPV.
Nice.
And M's K9's how he's building a KMPV dog when there's only 2, I believe, in the UK that have a PH1. But yeah, I mean, that's what he's sold these dogs as, saying, "Oh yeah, they can all achieve the PH1," and he's just sold people a
Yeah, he
pipe dream,
came
hasn't he?
like 40 seconds or something at La
With the right trainer, they probably could achieve it, but it's not. He's not the right trainer.
No,
They are amazing pups. I'm not going to lie. They're lovely pups.
They would be if
They're
they were with
lovely.
somebody else.
No, they would if they were in the right. Would be if
To
they're
be
in the
fair,
gorgeous.
I mean, he's creating
But if they were in the
competition
right
between the two of
hands.
them all the time. It's going to be a mess at some point.
Right, Flame. 1 minute, kiddo. Right,
Well, I mean,
so
it
this
makes
is
sense.
going to
No,
be
no.
this is going to be the last video, and then we're going to call it because, as Jazz says, time is marching on.
Has he got
And if he's got a slip lead on one, and he's
And it's
put the
loose.
lead through the collar of the other one.
Is he a bit tight when it comes to leads and things? Has he not got any money to buy more than one lead?
Hey, listen.
The best of it is he gave about 1,400 quid's worth away that we had donated. And he didn't even keep
Honestly,
one.
what even is
What, even
this?
clever
Right,
enough to
yeah,
keep one?
so
Okay.
as Jazz has said, time is marching on. And although we would happily sit here and talk dog all night, if I message Jane in the morning and say, "I'm too tired, I can't come," she'll kill me.
Yeah, she might kill you.
She
Yeah.
will literally kill me.
And I'm not going to stick up for you.
Only because you're dead.
She'll phone me and give me shit as well then.
I was going to say, oh, yeah, yeah. So if I listen and I've got a meter, I've got to be up there for like 9 o'clock.
Yeah, at least
So-
I'm down here.
And if I know I'm within distance, so yeah, I need to eat and get to bed because I'm gonna have to be up at 6. So this is the last one. This is the one that Mel wanted. I think this is the one we all wanted to see because this was this morning
I haven't
at the
seen
dog
this.
wash. Now it
Yeah,
is
I
going
was
to
very
be
disturbed by this.
quite a long one in the sense that he baths all the dogs. But what he does say, because somebody pulls him in the comments, and what he does say is, it's all right, he's loving it, he loves it.
No, he don't.
And, I mean, we're seeing
what's he
otherwise,
doing?
is all I'm going to say.
I was very
Right,
disturbed.
we're
Let's
seeing
just watch.
otherwise.
Let's just watch.
Yeah,
Everybody
go
be
on.
quiet.
You shut up.
Ladies. Hang on, who's freaking out? Who's freaking out, Joe? Is Jay freaking out right now?
I think she means the dog in the video.
Oh, right, no. Oh, I got excited then.
But Melena's just said that they have his full name and she's also sent them all his personal information.
Say that again, sorry.
Melena has said that they have his full name. They've also sent over all his personal information to SVK9 as well.
Brilliant. I don't
So
know why it's
Minnie,
not-
Melena
where's
trains
the
at
song?
SVK9, does she? Marvellous.
No. Minnie doesn't. Minnie's not in this country. He trains at SVK9.
Oh.
Now, he's got McDonald's Wi-Fi, so I do apologise.
You put the
It goes in and
sound
out,
on.
in and out.
Put
The sound is on. The sound is on. Mel, I'm not stupid.
Oh, sorry. No, sometimes you just need a bit of a guidance, but it's fine.
So sometimes I do. That's true.
I do as well, like we all do.
Right, just hang on, because Riot's decided he wants a cuddle.
No, he's not on. This proper disturbed me today, I can't lie.
Why has he just tossed them back in like that?
Because yeah. Get out.
There was no need for that. He could have gently put them back down.
I think
This
that was
Jay we're
good.
talking about.
It's something new in it. Do you know what I mean? It's a big scary box he's been fastened into.
It broke me as well, Jay.
It won't turn up anymore. And you know what? His look, he's frozen now. Look, this is his Wi-Fi. There we go. It's back now. There we go.
Was ready.
No, I think he's passed them a couple of times here, Minnie, but I'm not sure.
The mango and the banana. This is got the banana. I know. Banana, you don't like me. You must clean your smelly baby. Oh, sexy banana. Sexy banana. Chaos. Stop it.
Oh, it gets worse.
And bearing in mind, in this video, he was trying to be nice as well. Oh.
Oi. Enough. Mix. Right there.
Sorry, very attention.
I'll get all in your face then.
They probably will be scared when water come on. Other day he dragged them out into the sea.
No, if you're still in here, it's the blaster in it where he goes on about forestry and stuff. Yeah, they put that over the blaster.
He calls it a Hoover.
Oh, let's not touch the genitals. Let's have some coconut conditioner. This is the coconut conditioner. If you bite me again, I will tell you off. Don't bite me.
I'm embarrassed, sorry.
You are not allowed to bite your father. I am your father. Why are you over here for? Huh? What are you doing? What are you doing? Over here, boy. And you are over here. Good baby boy. Oh, look at my baby. My pretty, pretty babies. You are my pretty baby boy. You must get you nice and fresh. You cannot come into the house after yesterday's performance with the hair, which was so good of you. Hello, a unique conditioner too, please. Please, boy, please. You must condition your skin. And your tail and your bumper. It's all he's doing. Okay? Everything and your bumper too. Please, and your tail. This is good. And we have the flea and tick shampoo. Please get back.
Yeah, I agree.
Oi! Fight me, motherfucker, I tell you. Don't you do this. Oi, surprise me. 4 quadrants.
He just squirted it in face and then wondered why it bit him. Fool.
4 quadrants. Ow, that's my finger. That boy. Please, please be a good boy. Please, I am just trying to make you better. You are a really smelly boy. And I don't like when you are smelly.
Oh, he's
But
obsessed
you're
with
ready
the
now,
four
boys.
quadrants there. He's obsessed.
Here comes the punch.
What the
Ah.
So, guys, we're going to take a slight pause. We're going to take a slight pause.
Willow.
I need you to share this out to the force
Detox. Lever.
free community. And please tell me, Birdman, can someone get Birdman in there and ask Birdman, how do I stop this? I'm trying to, these are high drive working dogs, Dutch herders, bred for a specific reason. True to their type. Could you please tell me how do we dry these dogs by using your force free methods? Just saying. Saying. Can someone get Birdman, Pigeon Man? Can someone get the Pigeon Man, please, to go and ask Pigeon Man? Or maybe Marshland Bullies or James Springer, who beats women up. You know them women beaters. Stay away from them as well. Martin James, naughty boys. Time to go anyway. Here Atlantas. Oi, 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 oi. Oi. I'm not doing that. No, I'm not doing that. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Get back. Get back. Get back. I'll show you how.
It gets worse, guys. It actually gets worse. Believe it or not.
Chaos. Bar. That's how. Birdman will be like, why are you doing that to your dog? Why are you doing that to your dog? Now you're licking me, yeah, exactly, because you can't do that, can you? You're not allowed to do that. Right, you ready to continue, boys? I hope so.
He's wound the dog up to take it to that state, so then you need to use lead pressure to calm it down. I get it.
Someone's asking in the comments, does anyone know how old the dogs are?
18 weeks. I think they were born on Boxing Day, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, they are 18 weeks. They're 2 weeks older than my son.
You're tapped in already, you are. Very good. Don't fucking leave that alone, bro. Don't bite me. Force free help. Force free help me, please. Loss. For fuck's sake, chaos. You gotta come out of there, mate.
Wow. Wow.
Don't bite. Oh my dude, he's biting my legs.
I want to clear to see
Chaos.
this. I really want to.
Let's slip lead on you.
At the end of it. It gets worse. It even gets
Bite my
worse.
fucking legs again, bro. Look what he's doing.
Baby loves it when it's that's the
Look, the second I
part.
release the pressure, force free help. Oh, chaos. So, 4-3. You wouldn't know about these dogs, would you? So Chaos needs a little time out over here.
Got nothing to do with the dog.
Come on.
And then it worried me when he'd done this. You hear him yelping in the background.
Yeah.
Out of the camera. He's punishing
It's
that.
all right, Detox. It's okay.
My dog's just gone mental at that screen, and that other dog in the picture's body language is telling you everything.
Do you know, you've just took the words out of my mouth. That other dog looks like it's trying to get to that one to help it.
It's telling you everything.
Yeah.
It looks desperate.
Right, it's okay. Yeah, and that's what
Reg,
it's
it's
done
all right.
tonight.
Reg, it's all Reg, it's all right.
Tonight.
Alright, can we continue, please?
Right, guys, it's okay. Right, don't wind Willow up, please. Come on. Okay. I know. Don't be long.
Yeah, that noise were all kinds of wrong. Reggie didn't like that at all.
For me, if my dog was that afraid of, you know, the blower, I wouldn't continue.
No, I mean, have you not seen this, Minnie? This is this morning.
Oh yeah, it was this morning. That's why I thought it was quite good for maybe Claire to comment on.
Well, yeah, this is recent.
Yeah.
I've never seen anyone put the dog on the back bench in the water.
Well, you wait, he'll do it again to the other one in a minute.
Is this the first time he's took the dogs in?
No, this is apparently the third.
Oh, is that what you said, Mel? Because you did say, didn't you?
Yeah, he said this is the third time. Yeah, he did. But what concerns me is what he done to the other dog when it went out of, you know, frame.
Yeah, because you don't know.
Chester was 12 weeks old and 750 grams, and he had no problem with the hoover. Right, come on. Slowly.
Right, get away from her. She doesn't like it.
I don't like the noise, so then Mars is very simple.
20 quid, mush. Huh? 20 quid.
He's not gonna like it. He's already made it a nice experience for him, has he?
Go.
Thank you.
He put the other dog out somewhere, Darwin. I'm assuming he's put the dog in the car. That's what I'm going to assume.
He brings the other dog back in a minute, and it's even worse. Because he clearly doesn't like the situation. But he's trying to keep his cool, and you know he wants to absolutely lose his mind.
No, you're not weird. You're not weird. I make everything a big game for my dogs. I just make everything fun.
I watered my garden earlier because I planted loads of new plants. You should have seen the state of Margaret at the end of it. It was drenched.
You saw it.
He was just under the hose.
This is all the girlfriend's wife, you know. Yeah, that's his baby mum who he was with for 24 years. He threw the puppy in the welcome box. And then slammed the crate on the puppy's toes. Let's not forget.
Can you imagine when he passes these dogs on and they're only straight back to the
I know.
It's scary.
So he takes this one out in a minute, doesn't he, and brings the other one.
Yeah, and the other one, the reaction with the other one is different.
Yes, Darwin. Yes, that's the right puppy. That's Chaos that's wearing the coat.
You know, Mars hates the sound of these dogs. He wants all the cuddles when he hears this. Oh, baby.
Early gonna get Chaos. Hmm? Yeah, he's going crazy. I haven't got a lead. Wasn't that bad, was it? I ain't trying to bite. You're a fucking bite me. Come on.
You're not seeing the reflection at the bottom, because I can't see it. I'm hanging up on the screen.
Come on. You're a fucking bite me. Come on.
Yeah, he favours one. He favours one.
You favour
he
Biggs
doesn't.
over
He
Chaos.
does not like Chaos at all.
He creates competition between the two pups, but also I don't often see him do things separately with them. I mean, they're always together, aren't they?
Wait till you see this next bit, Claire. I was traumatised.
So this is Chaos again coming back in to be blasted. I know it's a long video, I do apologise, but you know.
But otherwise it'll be AI this match.
Yeah.
You know, you can't click things, otherwise it's AI.
No, not loud. Not loud. Say aye.
But when you move the other dog, like the yelping, that's what concerns me, like what you don't see off camera. Scary.
Here he comes.
Here we go.
Right, now fuck about. Yeah.
The aggression towards him,
Nothing like this one.
always.
Record screen recorders.
Yeah, see? He knows as well. Oh, it's petrified. Oh, fire.
Chaos.
Oh, he's holding it scruff. He's threading him, isn't he?
It's just no need at all, is there?
Oh, no. I'm going to make some tea.
Jesus.
Now, don't block nobody. I need the help from the force free. Someone said he doesn't like it. Ollie, he
Is anybody
loves
else's
it.
dog kicking off at the
Absolutely
sound?
loves it.
Mine did. You would have heard all mine bark when they were
Mine
screaming
do
before.
all the time, especially
I
Mars.
usually watch this with headphones on. This is.
Yeah, my pups are not happy.
Poor dog.
Mars just wants like all the cuddles when he hears these. I know, baby.
You don't care about anything.
And then he's filming this, knowing the dog is that distressed.
But
That's not
I mean,
crowd drive, is it?
he will think that this is a good thing, though, won't he?
He thinks it's crowd drive, doesn't he?
Because they tie them up, don't they? Anyway, I'm sure Chloe's got a lot to say.
Is it just more of the same?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Enough, haven't we?
I think we have. I think we have. I think. Yeah.
I can't actually believe how smug he is in that video to the level of abuse that's been inflicted on that dog. That's disgusting.
Totally
Hair
disgusting.
isn't in his vocabulary, is it?
Dog ends up just ragging off his top, and he's allowing it. He's like, "This is okay. I'm gonna let the dog do," and it literally is like.
I don't even lie. My blood pressure's through the roof right about now.
It's horrible.
I actually can't believe there's an audience of nothing short of muppets still following this man. You need to seriously give your head a wobble and have a word with yourself if you're hanging around with somebody that thinks that is okay.
Gripping a puppy and holding it on its back legs while you're blasting it with air when it's quite clearly not happy with it. After you've scragged it out, thrown it in car once, finished doing its sibling gently, and then dragged it back in and done it again. The man is beyond. And his team now are just at the point where they're borrowing brain cells.
It's horrific.
Can we hear what Claire thinks about it, if that's all right?
Absolutely.
He finished up there by saying, talking about how he's trying to desensitize his dog to it. All he's doing is creating sensitization. There's no desensitizing going on there. Desensitizing happens very, very slowly. And it involves using distance and maybe sometimes distraction and doing little bits of things and gradually building something up. What he's doing there is flooding the animal, and if the animal then just gives up reacting in the way that it is, then that is flooding. That's not desensitization. But the problem is he thinks that when the animal stops reacting, that means that he's won, and he's clearly desensitized it, but he hasn't. All he has created is learned helplessness. The dog in that moment is saying, well, there's absolutely nothing that I can do. All of my overt behavior that is telling you I'm not happy with this is completely ignored. I have no way of getting away, so I'm just had to give up. So that's flooding and learned helplessness, essentially.
Is it drive? Is the puppy in drive?
No, the puppy isn't in drive. The puppy is in over arousal again. So when we're looking at arousal, we've got good arousal and bad arousal. So what we call stress and eustress. So stress is where we're very, very concerned about something, and we go into fight or flight from a sort of scared point of view. And then eustress is where we go into overexcited, excited and playful arousal. Both of them have the same biological effect on the brain and the body. So it looks exactly the same, which is why you get dogs that are fearful of something, barking and barking. They're in fight or flight because they're scared of something. But you see the same behaviors or very similar behaviors in dogs that are super excited and over aroused, because it's exactly the same process going on in the brain. That's why he's talking about drive and all this other stuff. There is no drive going on there. We're just tipping into arousal again. And from this point of view, those dogs are not happy. So this is stress. This is a negative stress experience for them. And they are giving you every kind of signal possible that they're not happy about that situation. And they're starting very low on that ladder of aggression as well. They're giving you lots of appeasing signals. You know, there's their ears are sort of telling you they're not very happy. We've got lip licks, we've got whale eye. They're really not happy. And then he starts blasting them with the water, starts blasting them with the air dryer. Air dryers, honestly, because they move air and scent around, that's completely throws off the dog's smell, their sense of smell and their nose and how they process the world. So starting blasting them with air on their skin and things like that completely throws all their senses off. So that's why they'll quite often overreact to sort of the air and hair dryers and things like that. If you're going to use something like that, you would obviously you bring in proper habituation to it, and you build it up before you've even got sensitization. When you've got sensitization, desensitizing is more complicated than habituation is, which is why most people who get dogs that they're going to start grooming and using these things with, they work on it really, really gradually over a period of time. And they make it more about the dog having its own choice, having a little bit of autonomy, and then marking and rewarding that dog for making that right choice, and then gradually bringing in the various different elements of it and showing the dog that actually it's not scary. And when these things happen, other nice things happen. You know, you might give them rewards, or you might give them a tug toy or something, whatever that dog, you know, that the reward that is ideal for that dog might be in that situation. You don't just dump them. It's exactly the same as what happened on the beach when he just picked them up and dumped them in the sea. We had stress arousal going on there, and then their way of reacting to that is to lash out by biting. And then he's calling on, you know, the force-free people to help him. Well, in that moment, all you can do is manage, because the dogs have gone. Their brain is gone. They're not thinking. That's management. No force-free person in that moment is going to be able to help you with force-free methods, really. It's just management. What we would then do is take it all the way back to the start, and we would build that dog up, and we would show it the process of what we're going to do, teach it what we're doing, and then make sure that it was a really nice experience for that animal. I mean, honestly, if I'm in the shower, my dogs will open up my shower door to get in with me, because they're like, oh, mum's in the shower, this is loads of fun, and they'll take themselves into the shower. This is...
Can I ask you a question, Claire?
Yeah.
Is there, do you know, like with the protection dogs, like these high-level IGP dogs and stuff, are there any POS only ones that have done it, or are they all kind of
positive only IGP? Yeah. So if you check
Corin
out
Rend,
yeah, Corin Rend, Bryony Cole, Nando Brown, Jo Rosie Haffenden. They're all sort of not positive only. So positive really isn't a training ethos. It's part of the quadrants. It was never meant to be a training ethos. You're looking more along the lines of more force-free.
just okay? No aversives.
No, they won't use aversives. No, and they're more science-based trainers. They're and Corin Rend is high level as well. Bryony Cole. Bryony Cole is so she does Mondio Ring and Nando's Mondio Ring as well. But Bryony Cole is based near me in Bristol, and she breeds and trains police dogs as well. She's got Valkyrie dogs, so she competes with Soul. Actually, the mother of her dog Soul was in that Ricky Gervais TV thing. Yeah, so that was the mother of her dog Soul. He's an amazing working dog. So yeah, those people do handle. And who else? There's a few people in Bristol that have got Malleys that do these bite sports that also work with Bryony as well. So there are people out there. It's the same with gun dogs as well. You know, you've got the more traditional people, but now there's a much more growing trend towards the force-free movement, because we're looking at science, we're looking at behaviour, we're looking at biology and neurobiology and everything else, and we're sort of moving in that direction because we're realising actually if we can train smarter, we don't need to use these things, and actually we don't need to make or break a dog in that
Do you
instance.
think there's enough evidence there to definitively say over one over the other? Or do you think we're still in the realm of kind of mixing the both?
If you look at the research that's done on all of these tools, then it does move more.
No, I wasn't talking about the tools. I was talking about the positive or positive reinforcement only method.
What do you mean?
As in positive only, is there enough research over the years to back that overbalanced training?
What question? I was just saying.
I know you're saying there's evidence to show that aversive tools are bad, but is there enough evidence out there to back up force free?
What do you mean by evidence out there? I've just told you that the research is there. That is evidence. What other evidence are you talking about?
Because I'm saying that for years we've done it that way, haven't we?
Yeah.
But for how long has this been? How long has the research been there for you to back the force free?
Oh, it's been going on for about
20 years, 30 years?
Probably more than that, actually. Because even in some of my research, some of the books, even some of the dog training books that I've got, we're going back to the 1930s.
But the earlier stuff was very, very minimal, wasn't it? It was kind of like one person kind of doing one research. I'm on about kind of modern day mass research, mass numbers.
I'm not entirely sure.
Or is that what we're building on now?
We're building on that now. We've got all of the research. We know it's happening. So we're gradually building up the fact that these handlers are coming into the world. We're certainly, so I'm from the sort of the gun dog side of things, and we're building on that more and more now. Because we've got guys like the Gun Dog Trainers Academy, the Gun Dog Club, people like me who, we're looking for force-free ways of training our gun dogs, because they're, historically we'd have to just find a gun dog trainer and go, I don't really want to do it that way. I'm going to have my own way of doing exactly the same thing as you're doing without using the force. So we just worked our way around it, because we didn't want to do it that way. Now we've got these people coming together going, we've worked out how to do it. We're going to start teaching you how to do it. So it's gradually spiraling out and out and out. But what you've got is the sort of the grandfathers of it, the people that are still in it. And those people are still teaching those old school methods as well, which is why when we talk about bringing in regulation in training, I say I'm probably never going to see it, because even if they did do that, those people are making their livelihoods out of training. The powers that be aren't going to take away that from them, so they would have grandfather rights for that until they died, and then you would get the more balanced methods and unqualified people dying off, and then the more qualified people would move in over a period of time, and that's not going to happen in my lifetime because of the grandfather rights, because those people that are using those older methods are still teaching other people how to do it. So that's why I don't think I'm ever going to see it, and why it's going to be so difficult to do it. But yeah, we do know. That's why, all that research is going on. It's always happening. There's that one paper that Ivan Balabanov paid for, that really, even from even a balance trainer's point of view, the training methods that were used in that were absolutely ridiculous, because I looked at that and I went, well, I could train that quite easily force free. So that's the biggest joke paper on the planet. But then it was completely biased because it was paid for by him. Yeah. And it was him and another one of his trainers that did it.
That does go both ways, though, doesn't it?
What do you mean?
It's a fair argument to say that there's papers to back up both sides.
No, there's one paper that backs up that side, and it was paid for by the guy who was the trainer in the paper, so it's extremely biased.
Yeah, but we've also got history, though, haven't we? Because that's what's got us to this point, though, isn't it?
But that's anecdotal. That's not science.
Yeah, I'm here to learn. So that's exactly what you're saying, is we need to learn and we need to grow. I'm down for that.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that I tried positive only with Nelly when I got it, and just from a management point of view, we had to use a prong, we had to use a muzzle, we had to use an e-collar.
The thing is,
ticky per se.
you found your way, and this is what I say to people: everybody finds their way. I'm force free. I am staunch force free. I've been there, done that, worn the t-shirt because, like I said, I'm from I grew up watching Barbara Woodhouse and all that shizzle. So I've been there, done that. I've put prong collars, well, not prong collars. I put choke chains and things on dogs. And I'm from the gun dog.
Do you
world,
call a
so-
slip lead a choke chain? Are they the same thing in your realm?
No, choke chains are no. I know the difference.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, a choke chain is a chain.